It's recording. All right, you're good to go.
Awesome. All right, guys. So tonight I'm going to be talking about what's blocking you. So first, I'm going to go through a couple little housekeeping things. If my computer decides to go to the next screen. Okay, so get registered for Super Saturday if you haven't already. It's going to be on August 6th, and it's going to be amazeballs. So make sure you register for that. Summit, get on the wait list because, you know, we're not really sure exactly what's going to happen. Carl said everyone's going to get off the wait list, so get on the wait list, get the Summit. And then the Diamond Retreat. So, I mean, as you can see, it's going to be pretty freaking amazing. So you have to be a paid rank of Diamond on 7/7 and hold that rank for 6 consecutive weeks. So get to Diamond, get to the Diamond Retreat. It's going to be amazing. And if you need more info, talk to your coach about it. And next, so these are the members of the April Changing Lives Club. Congrats to everyone. Way to go. Way to change some lives in April. But everyone that made it on there. And congrats to the new Emeralds in Project Fearless. So great job, ladies. We had a few different promotions. So awesome, awesome job. And all right, so if you don't know me, my name is Kiley Jolicouer. I am a 3-star Diamond coach, SC10 All-Star. I started coaching May of 2014. I went Diamond in 21 days, and then my second CBC took 1 year to go to Diamond. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is some things that happen, some blockers, and you know, things that could be happening in your business too. So, Joan, can you mute everyone? I think someone keeps popping up. Thank you. All right, so what happened? Some of these things might kind of resonate with you too. I got comfortable. So I got comfortable with staying in my comfort zone. And I didn't even know that I was actually in my comfort zone. Like, I thought I was pushing forward. But when I sat and I looked back on what was really going on, I was like, okay, like I was in my comfort zone, I was in my bubble, and I wasn't pushing forward to the next thing. And I was avoiding my fears by not taking a lot of action. I had set the goal for my second CBC multiple times, and I had failed to hit it. So my fear of failure stopped me from taking the actions that I needed to take to be successful to hit that goal. So I know a lot of new coaches that I've talked to also have that fear of failure. And it's funny because our fear of failure stops us from doing the actions necessary to be successful. Like, it makes no sense, right? But that's what happened to me. And I had a lot of noble excuses. And I call them noble excuses because they didn't seem like an excuse at the time. They just seemed like reasons why I wasn't focused on that. Like, you know, I had my account at Diamond, I had Al's account at Diamond, and, you know, I was working on keeping those at Diamond, and, you know, I was focused on that. And, you know, trying to help my people get to Diamond because I had already hit it, right? So I wanted to help them. Like, it was just really just noble excuses. They were just still excuses to why I wasn't reaching my goals. And I was getting distracted by time-wasting activities. So there's a lot of things that you can do in this business, a lot of like fun and cool things. Like, your thing might be different than my thing. I might like, you know, doing creative stuff and creating posts and doing stuff like that. But, you know, those aren't going to be the things that move my business forward. Maybe your thing is different. But there's a lot of things that you can get distracted by that are just time-wasted activities. And that's what was happening with me. So I'm going to go over a couple of those things and how you can get past them. So some common blockers are comfort zone, excuses, fear, and shiny objects. So I loved this graphic because it really breaks down like your comfort zone, which is a big thing for a lot of us, and what's outside your comfort zone. So 98% of the population, this is why not everyone is just madly successful. It's because 98% of the population, so the majority of people, stick inside their comfort zone. They want to be like everyone. They're just going to be like everyone else. They have insecurities. They're just trying to survive. They're struck by fear all the time. They're just getting by. They play it safe. They settle for average. But the 2% of the population that decide to get outside their comfort zone embrace the unknown. They get excited about what's going on. They embrace change. They live without limits. They think of abundance. They have an abundance mentality. They act whether they're afraid or they're not. And they really want to get the most out of life and live a fulfilled, happy life, full of like new things and chasing their dreams. So I want you to think about that. Like, are you living with it 98%, or are you going to live with the 2%? So comfort zone. And I thought this graphic was just really funny, so I had to throw it in there. But your comfort zone is a life sucker. So your little comfort zone here has nothing. Outside your comfort zone is all the cool stuff. So you have to get outside your comfort zone to make things happen. If you are comfortable with where you're at in your business, then your goals aren't big enough. Okay, let me repeat that. If you are comfortable with where you're at in your business, then your goals aren't big enough. So you have to set huge goals. You have to set big goals. And that gap between where you are and where you want to be should be uncomfortable. There should be that really uncomfortable feeling in the pit of your stomach when you think about your goals and where you are, and you want to you just have that just kind of not sick feeling, but you know what I mean. You have that feeling in the pit of your stomach that you're just have to decrease that gap between where you are and where you want to be. And if you don't have that uncomfortable feeling, then your goals aren't big enough. And nothing good happens inside your comfort zone. Nothing, average. Who wants to be average? Who wants to be on their deathbed and say, you know what, I lived a really average life? No one, right? No one wants to say that. So get out of your comfort zone. You're never going to regret getting out of your comfort zone. And think about what's most important. To be uncomfortable with learning something new, getting past your fears and going for it, or staying where you are, right? What is more important? And know that the comfort zone is very deceiving. So it seems really comfortable, but it's in the moment thing. In the moment, it's really comfortable, but a year from now, are you going to be comfortable with where you're at, being at the same place? Probably not. So be aware of the comfort zone and how it is pretty deceiving. Excuses. Okay, so no excuses exist that can or will make you successful. So let me repeat that. No excuses exist that can or will make you successful. So excuses are so easy though, right? They're so easy to make excuses. Everyone has a ton of excuses, but they're never going to improve your situation. They're never going to get you to where you want to be. So be aware of the ones you use regularly. Maybe it's, that you're busy or you're tired or your kid has something or, your family's doing something, or be aware of what your excuses are so you can change that. So for example, if your excuse for being late to work every day is the traffic, if you know that that's your excuse every single day, then you can make the proper changes to adjust that, like leaving for work a little bit earlier, right? So be aware of your excuses and the ones that you use regularly. And beware of noble excuses. So these are excuses disguised as really noble reasons to why you're not reaching your goal. Maybe it's because you were helping your coaches do something, which yes, you should always help your coaches, but don't use that as an excuse to why you aren't moving forward. And then stop making excuses. So just stop making them. Be aware of when you're making them and just stop. I know for me, this is something I talk about with my team a lot. But Joan, can you mute everyone, please?
Kiley, it seems like there's like your name keeps popping up with like a mobile thing, and that's what's creating feedback. Everybody else is muted. I'm not sure what's happening.
I'm not on my mobile, which is weird.
That is strange. Hold on, I'm gonna mute all. I'm gonna unmute again, and we'll see what happens.
Great, thank you.
So that means you're gonna be muted for a second. So hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might have jumped on with a phone or something.
Kiley, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
All right, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, awesome. Thank you. There was like an iPhone thing that kept popping up and making noise in my corner, so thank you. All right, so excuses. It's really easy to make excuses, but be aware of the ones that you use and just stop making them. And instead of putting the effort into making excuses, put the effort into doing the actions that's going to make you be successful. And I saw this quote and I thought it was really funny. Excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. So seriously, like every time you make an excuse, just think about another nail into that house of failure. Like you're going to stop making excuses if you think of it that way, right? So stop making excuses. And okay, so here's a big one, fear. False evidence appearing real. Fear is something that holds all of us back, no matter what you're doing, whether it's in this business or doing something else. Fear can be crippling if you let it be. But if you think of it this way, as a sign that you're moving in the right direction, it's going to completely transform that. So if you see fear and be like, oh, I'm afraid of that, it scares the heck out of me, but I'm going to run towards it anyway, it's going to completely transform how you look at it, and you're going to keep moving in that right direction. So fear is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. If you have no fears, that means you're not doing anything. Like, that's not a very good sign. So it's okay to have fears. If you're afraid to, reach out to people, it's a sign you need to reach out to people. If you're afraid of posting your before and afters, you need to post your before and afters. So feel the fear and do it anyway. And know that whatever your fear is, that's a sign that you need to be doing more of it. So action cures fear. You can't be like afraid of something if you're doing it over and over and over again. That's gonna like decrease your fear and basically get rid of it. So action cures fear. And don't feed the fear. So feeding the fear means inaction. So if you're not taking action, then that's just going to feed the fear and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So for example, if your fear is inviting people and you put it off and you put it off and you put it off, guess what the fear is going to do? It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So don't feed the fears. If you're afraid of something, that should be your cue to run towards it. Okay, so if you're afraid of something, run towards it and get past it and take action and change the way you look at it. Again, so if you're afraid of something, that's a good sign that you should probably do it. If you're afraid of posting those before and afters, do it. And what's going to happen is all this stuff that you made up in your head about why it's scary, it's going to completely reverse it and turn it around. So you're going to get all that support from people that, about your pictures, and it's going to feel good. So change the way you look at it, turn it around. And like I said before, if you aren't experiencing fear, you're not taking new actions and growing. Fear is a sign that you are growing and you're taking new actions to get over like new objections and new goals. So take action and don't feed the fears. Squirrel. All right, so there's so much in this business that can distract you, and there's so much in life that can distract you. So stay focused and be consistent. We have these 4 vital behaviors that are really, really simple, and they lay out the business for us. They're called the vital behaviors for a reason. Like, it's super simple. So do them. Like, just do them. So stay focused on those activities and do them every single day. So focus on your business building activities. Again, 4 vital behaviors. You're inviting people, you're doing the products and you're talking about it, you're doing personal development, and you are recognizing people on your team and in your challenge groups. So do those. It's very simple. Don't get caught up in non-business building activities. So what I mean by that is like creating new things here and there and like, oh, I'm going to run and do this, or I'm going to try to do this. It can be so overwhelming with all the stuff that you want to try to do, because there's like a lot of like fun and exciting things you can do with your business. But don't get caught up with running from like one thing to another, because then you're not going to get anything done. So focus on the task at hand instead of running from task to task. And that's the same thing goes for like if you're doing something consistently and you see another coach doing something else, don't go run and do like everything because someone else is doing it. Then nothing's going to come of it. So focus on what you're doing, be consistent with it, and don't get caught up running from task to task. Another thing that helps with that is eat that frog. So whatever you don't like doing, whatever like is your like least favorite thing to do, whether it be in your power hour or your vital behavior, do that first. Get that out of the way before you move on to anything else. Or maybe it's like your power hour and your activities. Do that and then move on to something that you like. Maybe it's like creating your posts or creating your hooks that you have fun and you like doing. Do those things first, the things that you know you have to do, your business building activities, and then move on to the other things. And set a schedule. Have business hours that you work from. I know for me, like during that whole year of not really doing anything with my business, there were other things happening, but not what I wanted to. It's because I thought I was doing a lot of work, but I really wasn't doing anything that was moving my business forward. I was getting caught up with things that I thought were fun and like the creative side of things that weren't moving my business forward. So a big thing that changed that is I set a schedule. I went into Google Calendar, I set time slots for each thing I needed to do, and I did it. And I like raced against the clock for every single hour, every single like half hour. I set a schedule for myself and I stuck to it. And if you find that you're like, scrolling through the news feed or doing some other like time-sucking activity, then set a schedule for yourself and race against the clock. And don't get distracted by a bunch of things that are going on. So here are some extra tips on how to bust past blockers and get stuff done. Race against the clock. Set your schedule and say, okay, I have 30 minutes to do these invites, and you're going to bust your butt to get as many invites done as you can and not get distracted by anything else. 2, take responsibility for your business. Take responsibility for your business. No one's going to do this for you. Not me, not your coach, not your downline coaches. No one's going to do this business for you. This is your business. But that's really cool, right? Like you can do whatever you want with it, but you have to take responsibility for your time, for your goals, for what you're doing. Never wait for your coach to tell you to do something. Take action like you are the CEO of your business, which is pretty freaking cool, right? So take advantage of that and take responsibility for your business. If it's not moving where you want it to go, then take a look at what you're doing and break it down and try to figure out what's going on. I know it took me a little bit longer than I probably should have to sit down and look at and see like what is going on in my business. Why did I go from going diamond in 21 days to like a full year without like doing anything? Like what's happening? But you have to take responsibility for your business and sit down and say, what is going on? Why am I not moving in the direction I want to move in? And then set 10x goals and follow it up with 10x action. So set really big goals for yourself. The only thing that's going to happen if you set big goals is say you don't make your big goal, but you still make a really pretty good goal. That's awesome, right? What if you set an average goal and you miss it? Crappy. So set big goals, shoot for big goals, and take big action. And always wanting to learn and grow. So this is a big, like personal development is a big part of this, but be willing to learn and grow and know that you're not going to know everything ever. You're always going to need to continue to learn and grow and develop and, build into a, better person and a better leader and better coach. So always be willing and wanting to learn and grow. And put your blinders on and stay focused. It's really easy to get distracted by, everything, squirrel, and, get distracted by some of the other, like what other coaches are doing and their goals and the whole comparison thing. And, if you let it, it can bring you down if you're comparing yourself to what other people are doing. So put your blinders on and stay focused. The only time you should be comparing yourself to someone is to say, awesome, how did they do that? And what can I do, or like, what can I mimic in my business to do the same kind of thing? That's the only time, is using it to motivate yourself and build yourself up, and not drag yourself down and compare yourself to other people and what they're doing and what you should be doing and what you're not. And so put your blinders on and stay focused on what you're doing and what your goals are. And have a clear vision about where you want this to go. Have a clear vision of where you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, and think about that all the freaking time. Whenever you feel discouraged or beat down, think about what your goal is. Think about your vision. Where are you going to be? What is this going to do for you? Because I guarantee you, if you have a very clear vision of where you want to go, that is going to push you past anything that's going to stop you or trying to stop you, right? Any roadblocks, that is going to push you past it. So have a very, very clear vision and think about it all the time. Personal development. Personal development like cures all, okay? So dig into personal development daily. If you want to bust past things that are blocking you, like fear or, not staying focused or any of that, guess where to find it? Personal development. Every single day, my practices for personal development, and you can, take tips from this or use it or tweak it or whatever, but what I do every day is I wake up and I read something to do with mindset. So something like Gabby Bernstein. I read it in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I read Gabby and I do a meditation, and that starts my day. It puts me in the right mindset and the right flow and energy of everything, and that's how I start my day. And then midday, I'll either listen to like an audiobook, or I'll read a little bit of more of like a leadership or business building activity. So, or business building book, like 10X, Slight Edge, anything like that. I'll read during the day or listen to on audio. So I do those two types of books. You don't have to do that every day, but do plug into personal development daily and find out what works for you and what books and stuff that you read that motivates you, and do that every single day. So get stuff done, continued. So set goals and bust your butt to get to them. So don't just set a goal and be like, yeah, my goal is this, and then like kind of work towards it. No, set your goals and bust your butt to get to them. You set a goal for a reason. It was to make it, was to get it done, was to make it happen. So set your goals and make it happen. And not only is it gonna like get you to where you want to be, but it's gonna show your coaches underneath you that it's important to set goals and to work towards them, and that goals are important. They're not just things that you say you're going to do and then you don't do them. There's something that's really important to do. It's important to set a goal, and it's important to work your butt off until you get them. Then treat your business like a business, people. This is a business. You are the CEO of your business. So treat your business like a business. You are the CEO of your business. So think about it like this. Is it a necessity for you, or is it an option? If it's an option, you're only going to do it when you feel like it, right? So if it's an option for you, you're not going to work your business when you don't feel like it. But if it's a necessity, then you're going to. So think of it as if you're not a full-time coach, think of it as your full-time job. You don't go and do your work when you feel like it. You do it because it's a necessity. So treat your business like a business. You are the CEO of your business. Treat your business like a business. Be consistently consistent and have discipline. So consistency is obviously something we all hear a lot, and it's because it's that important. If you do something for a little while, if you like, and here and there, so you do a power hour like one day, and then like a couple days from now, and a couple days from now, that's not going to do anything. Or even if you do your power hour for a couple weeks, right, and then you fall off, that's not going to do anything. You have to be consistently consistent and have discipline with that, because I think those two things go together. Like, you have to have discipline so you can be consistently consistent. And then think long-term. So have a long-term vision. And again, this kind of goes with like having a clear vision and working towards it and just thinking about it, especially like when you're having a block or anything in your business. Have a long-term vision and know that, if you are consistent and you work your business like a business, and if you put the activities in and you give it time and you're patient while you're working towards that and while you're putting the work in, you're going to get there. So have a long-term vision. And embrace your journey. So your journey is going to be different from my journey. It's going to be different from Joan's journey. It's going to be different from anyone else's journey. It is your journey. So embrace your journey, embrace the ups and downs, and run with it. And personal development. I know I already said this, but it's because it's that important. So plug into personal development. And here are a couple books that I recommend for personal development. The Magic of Thinking Big, Compound Effect, Slight Edge, 21 Laws of Leadership, 10X Rule. Those are some awesome books. Those are some of my favorites. So yeah, plug into personal development and read. Those are some really good ones. So read those books. And my call to action for you today is to take action. So sometimes we get on these calls and we hear a couple things like aha moments, and then we don't do anything with them. So it doesn't do anything. So the only way this will do anything for you is if you act on what point struck you. So if you don't, you'll only be here next week having the same type of aha moments as this week. So take action. If there was something that you're like, okay, I need to do that, take action, because that's the only thing that's going to really make a difference, okay? And this is another quote that I really liked from 10X. You will be amazed how much you can get done when you quit thinking, calculating, and procrastinating and just get on with it and make a habit of acting now. So take action, make it a habit. And that's kind of all I got for you guys tonight. I'll stop share. Holy crap, there's 4 pages of people on here. Anyone have any questions?
Nice job, Kylie. The only thing I saw was somebody asking if you could show the PD slide again, but you could probably just list them off.
Yep. The compound effect, the slight edge, and my computer went black.
10X rule.
10X rule, compound effect, slight edge, 10X rule, and the magic of thinking big.
21 laws.
Yeah.
You guys, you also can always go over to the teamprojectfearless.com website and look under PD, and there is a plethora of things for you to look at. Any other questions for Kylie? Nice job, lady. Thanks for sharing with us tonight.
No problem.
Any other questions? I feel like a lot of the stuff that Kylie talked about tonight is stuff that, everybody deals with, and it's things that like you get so in your head about that you have a hard time getting over. So your fear, your comfort zone, your mindset, your consistency, they're all the things that are like really, really super easy about this business, but they're also the things that like hold us back. And if you just think about like the fact that every single person has those same exact thoughts and those same exact things that hold them back, except for the ones that you're seeing that are the most successful are just the ones that do it anyway, even though they're having all of those fears and things. So keep that in mind and take her action step of just taking action, because, inaction breeds fear. And so the more you do it, the less fearful you get. You just have to keep going. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great night. I'll post the recording to my YouTube page. Adios.
Thanks, guys.